Hi there, I'm Christina from hairromance.com and welcome back to Hair Romance's Good Hair Q&A series. We're up to day 26 and today we're talking about a sensitive topic, and that's hair damage and hair breakage. Today's question I'm keeping anonymous and came in via email, and she wrote, I've been dealing with a lot of breakage and my hair is very dry. When I wash and condition my hair, a lot of hair breaks off of my fingers. Any tips you have would be much appreciated. And I can understand how stressful this would be, and I haven't got any more details, but I'm guessing that potentially there's been some colour damage or some heat damage. First off, I'm really sorry that you're dealing with this, and I can imagine that every time you wash your hair feels pretty stressful. But I'm going to suggest that you give yourself a head massage, and we'll try and focus on the ways that we can try and deal with the breakage and what to do next. Head massages I've spoken about in my other videos are really helpful for helping your hair to grow faster because they increase blood flow to your scalp. But what I also would recommend doing is looking at doing a plex treatment. Potentially you could go into a salon to have step 2 done, or you can get a treatment step 3 and do this yourself at home. And I'll link to my other video and in the comments which tells you more about this process. The reason I recommend doing a plex treatment is because rather than making your hair feel better, although protein helps rebuild your hair as well, plex treatment goes at a cellular level to help rebuild the bonds in your hair and help it make your existing hair stronger. This isn't going to necessarily fix the problem, but it's going to make it a lot better, and so we can keep working from there. Now, depending on what kind of breakage you're dealing with, a protein treatment might help, particularly if it's colour damage, but always do this following the strict instructions on the protein mask package. When you're doing a protein mask, you need to be really careful to not leave it on too long. It's a similar sort of thing I mentioned when I did the plex treatments, in that plex treatments don't work in the same way, but when I leave one on too long, my hair can become brittle. And the same thing happens with protein. The protein itself packs onto the hair, but rather than just filling the hair, it can keep packing onto the hair. So rather than just strengthening your hair and then getting to that right point, which is usually within about 5 to 10 minutes, that's how long you normally leave a protein mask on. But say you left it on for 15 or 20 minutes or even longer, instead of more protein just stopping absorbing, it will still try and attach to your hair. And so rather than just building the strength of your hair, it can actually form a little bit of an over protein feeling and can almost make your hair feel brittle and in the long run cause more damage. It's not to make you feel worried about doing a protein treatment, but just to not leave it on longer than is recommended on the package. It's really key to follow instructions when you're doing protein masks. As well as doing some masks to help repair the damage to your hair, try and do a few things to minimize any future damage. So wear a hat when you're out in the sun, try and minimize heat styling as much as possible, and definitely no flat ironing at the moment. You want it, blow drying is okay at sort of medium to low heat, but you don't want to be doing any like extreme heat right on the surface of your hair where it's the most damaged. And I know you're not going to want to hear this, but a haircut might be in order. There's nothing that really fixes a split end. There are some serums on the market which technically glue them back together, but they don't repair it, they just hold it together. So the only thing that really fixes a split end are scissors, and it might be time to get a little bit of a haircut. Sounds like you're already having almost what we call a bit of a chemical haircut, where if it's been too much colour or heat that's actually creating the hair to break, you really want to stop that process, because by not cutting it, you allow the damage to travel further up your hair, and by at least having a haircut, you're starting with a fresh base. And short hair is in, lobs are in, so I wouldn't worry too much. Getting a cut will make your hair look better, you'll feel better, and with some regular head massages, your hair is going to be growing back before you know it. So to the original questioner, and anyone else who's dealing with dry or damaged hair, it's going to be okay. Do a few masks, definitely do a plex treatment, and probably look at getting a haircut. You'll feel fresher for it, I'm sure. There's just a few days left of my Good Hair Q&A series, and hit subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and I'll link the playlist so you can go back and watch any episodes you've missed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.